Detention Center.
Your account balance is $38.86. To hear the charges for this call, press 2. To accept this call, press 5. To refuse this call, This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Okay, my heart is pounding. What happened?
Okay, hey Blaine. Hey, I'm going to let you know what I know, but my wife, she's not here, and then I've got to attend to some things pretty quick. But I'm going to give you an update on what I've heard. Okay, I heard it was a mistrial and highly suspected because of a hung jury, and that's what my wife told me. So that's probably good news, I would think, because it's much better than a conviction, you know. So So what do they do? What do they do when that happens? Well, it'll be up to the prosecution. The prosecution will have a decision to make, and the prosecution can retry the case if there's a mistrial, and they'll just hold all the defendants in prison, basically. Or sometimes if a mistrial happens, the judge can elect to just say, no, we're just going to let them all go. That don't happen often, but it does happen. I think it has the potential to happen. But in this case, I think I heard Aaron say something about they're going to retry him in June. But I don't know for sure. She had to go, and it's just been a crazy madhouse around here lately.
I can see them doubling it down. So
yeah, but
that's what they did in Oregon. They doubled down.
Yeah. Now this Greg Burleson guy, I don't know anything about him, but is he one of the informants or something, or?
I don't know. See, because Greg went to court with us one day.
Yeah.
Greg, I'm thinking about.
Yeah, well, there's some guy named Greg Burleson, and they said he's an informant or used to be an informant. I'm like, informants don't usually stand trial. They usually, don't get charged.
Right, that's very weird.
Yeah, it's very confusing. But supposedly he got guilty on a lot of stuff. He was like one of the few guys that they found guilty on a lot of charges, which is weird to me because informants, I don't even know why they're being charged with anything. I thought they cut a deal, So.
Right. So nobody else was convicted but Greg?
Hold on. There was one other. She sent me like I'm looking at it now. Give me just a second. There was one other guilty charge for Todd Engel, and I think it was obstruction of justice. And let me save it because I'm having to save it, and then I got to zoom in on it.
But none of them were found guilty on conspiracy, right?
I don't think so. I think there must have been like a whole.
Then that means none of them are guilty of the other charges, correct?
Well, no. It means there was a hung jury, a mistrial. Here. I just brought it up. Todd Engel was supposedly found guilty on obstruction of justice and also interstate travel to aid extortion. And Greg Burleson was found guilty on a whole bunch of stuff, man. So that's kind of funny. It's not funny. I don't know the guy, and I don't ever want to, I don't want to take pleasure in somebody being found guilty in this satanic system, but they... Well, Aaron said he used to be an informant, but then he quit being an informant, and I guess when you cut your ties with the devil, comes back after you with a vengeance. You can't get out of the devil's game.
Was anybody found guilty on assault of a BLM officer?
Let's see. There's nobody was. Now, keep in mind, they weren't acquitted or found guilty. There was just a hung trial, a mistrial. So, conspiracy.
Then Todd Engel said, how was he found guilty on there if it was a hung jury?
Yeah, I can't say. Well, it just says the thing I'm looking at, and it's like it's a grid, right? And on the left-hand side, it has all the counts, and on the top, it has all the names. Greg Burleson, Drexler Scott, Todd Engel, Loveland Ricky, Eric Parker, Stewart Stephen. The only guilties in this entire grid is Todd Engel, obstruction of justice, and interstate travel to aid extortion. Greg Burleson got guilty on practically everything except for conspiracy. So I don't know if...
So was Greg Burleson guilty of assault on a BLM officer?
He was guilty on count 5, assault on a federal officer, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And he was... Well, let me read you all the things he was guilty of. This is Greg Burleson. Assault on a federal officer, guilty. Use and carry of a firearm, guilty. Brandish, guilty. Threatening a federal officer, guilty. Use and carry of a firearm, guilty. Brandish, guilty. Obstruction of justice, guilty. Interference, commerce, extortion, guilty. Use and carry of a firearm, guilty. Brandish, guilty. interstate travel to aid extortion guilty. So Greg really got it, man. Greg got the.
Yeah, that's like 93 years.
I guess so, yeah. But if you become an informant for the government and then you decide you don't want to be an informant anymore, I guess you got hell to pay. I guess so. Yeah. Who knows, man? It's kind of weird.
Mark McConnell, he's an informant. Got LaVoy killed.
Yeah.
He didn't see one day in jail. So.
Well, maybe because he didn't break up with the devil. Maybe Greg Burleson just thought,
Right.
you know. So.
He sold his soul.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know what to think about it. It's good or bad, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I'm not really sure all the details, but I think I interpret it as a good thing because it could have been a conviction, right? And so if you don't get a conviction, it means the prosecution has to work all over again to come at you, and so, you know.
But that's what I'm trying to say. If there wasn't a conviction on everyone else, how was Greg Burleson convicted on it?
I guess. Well, you know, Aaron told me that they have him saying some very inflammatory things, and even like there's some newspaper reports. So he kind of went out on a limb and said a lot of crazy things that other people didn't say. So my understanding is that he kind of put himself in a harm's way by a lot. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but hey, Erin's going to be completely up to date. So if you want to call us tonight, she'll be able to fill you in a lot better than I can.
Sounds good.
Okay. God bless you, brother.
You too, brother.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye-bye.